Ladies and gentlemen, I was one of the first people in all of YouTube to tell you in late 2021 that this would happen, and I obsessed over this. I have a stock market crash playlist, and within the playlist I talk about banks failing. In fact, the first segment talks about banks failing. I wrote about this in the Federalist as well, and I asked a very important question in the Federalist. Read that article. Okay, that is below in the description section. According to, and I am abiding by every policy possible, according to Bloomberg, Credit Suisse might be too big to be saved, Nouriel Roubini says, because right now it is in need of a bailout. It is tanking and it is slowly failing, or quickly, if depending on your vantage point. Credit Suisse Group, this is Bloomberg. Today, March 15th, I am reading, Credit Suisse Group AG could be too big to bail out, economist Nouriel Roubini warned Wednesday, as shares of the troubled bank nosedived to a record low. This is Bloomberg, okay? I'll give you my opinion later. So if there's a Democratic congressman or person that says, hey, wait a second, I don't want media fomenting fear. I am reading from reality, Bloomberg. I am communicating with my viewers about what is taking place. One of the world's largest banks, according to Bloomberg, and every publication today is tanking and in need of a bailout, which might not, well, it'd be very difficult for it to happen. It could happen. The problem is that Credit Suisse, by some standards, might be too big to fail, but also too big to be saved, Roubini, who's known as Dr. Doom, told Bloomberg TV. It's not clear the bank regulators have the resources to engineer a bailout. Across the Atlantic, 3 regional U.S. banks failed in recent weeks, including Silicon Valley Bank, a California lender largely serving startups and technology companies. Federal regulators seized Silicon Valley Bank and promised to make customers whole, even if their deposits exceeded levels of $250. Now, FDIC is only for $250,000. The problem, however, is that Biden lied numerous times in his speech, said, oh, you don't have to worry, even above $250. And it's like, well, if you look at FDIC, it's $9 trillion in assets that it currently insures, but only $250,000 per account. It does not insure above $250. It was not made for FDIC was not made to insure over $250. But he says you have no problem, no worry. You'll be everything. All the money will be there. Above $250, it's could be a roll of the dice. Above $250, FDIC, it's an insurance corporation, okay? And now you saw what happened to AIG in 2008. So it's not meant for above $250,000 per account. But anyway, hit subscribe to this channel right now. I will have a live stream today at 6 p.m. This is a terrible thing that was caused by absolute maniacs and highly educated, morally superior, truly wonderful, wonderful, wonderful human beings who pushed to shut down the U.S. economy and global economy, then pump $10 trillion into the U.S. economy, then watch inflation skyrocket and shortages take place and all of that. We had a wonderful, robust economy. And then within 3 months, okay, they despised Trump so much. It was unbelievable. But within 3 months, we went from record low unemployment at the end of 2019 to 22 million people unemployed in the matter of 3 months by that March. And then $10 trillion in fiscal and monetary stimulus, quantitative easing, and stimulus checks. And AOC was eviction moratorium, yeah, but you never heard AOC and Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. And they're three of the biggest reasons this all took place. If you talk about them just not even not even objecting to the Democratic Party and media and experts and all the wonderful and highly educated, morally superior, saying we can't even go to have a coffee. And then there was a run on toilet paper. And after the run on toilet paper, there's now a run on the banks. Okay? If there wasn't a run on toilet paper, there wouldn't be a run on the banks, and that was a choice. Any rebuttal that says, well, we had to, we didn't know. You weren't going, you could have always, okay, let's put it this way. Anyone who said that you had to shut down all of society, you look at the outcomes and all the consequences, it was the worst decision to make, especially financially. Because and it was a choice. That was a choice. There were countries around the world who didn't do that. And that was a choice. Anyway, I don't even want to get into the debate, but if you poll Democrats even today, they'd say, yeah, shut it down, shut everything down. Credit Suisse, whose largest investors had ruled out boosting its stake in the bank, also risks failure. The question is whether they get the capital or not, otherwise bad things can happen. So that is, it's in need of a bailout. It might not get the bailout. There's a possibility it goes under. Then you have UBS that could possibly go under. Then you have other stocks throughout the world, banks in France, PNB, Société Générale, they're all tanking today. No, they're let's see. The French banks aren't doing well. It's happening. All of this is taking place. Let's see. Calm down, EU finance ministers played down SVB contagion. Well, that was 2 days ago. Okay. So you have bank stocks taking a hit today, and it's a huge problem. First Republic stock dives after credit rating downgrades to junk. The 14th largest U.S. bank, listen to this, the 14th largest U.S. bank is now a junk bond. Well, considered a junk bond. First Republic stock down 22%, plummeted after two ratings firms cut the credit rating to junk on the risk that depositors could pull their funds from California-based bank. You have to understand also, these are like hedge funds pulling their money out, retirement funds pulling their money out. And it's going to hit the hedge funds too. Market's down today, but see, the market should be, the market is going to get down to 26,000. It's 31,798, 26,000. It will be an absolute catastrophe. I've told you, ladies and gentlemen, that this would take place. You can't tank any economy because of a projection. Okay? I don't care. Every single expert there was a consensus of experts. By the way, that was fabricated because all the experts that disagreed were not listened to or were just marginalized or kicked off of Twitter. So you have so many negative repercussions from shutting down society, and it was always going to, like, the repercussions were always going to happen. Maybe not immediately, but when you raise rates from 0.25% to 4.75% within a year because you didn't address inflation like Biden's administration and his Federal Reserve Chairman, Powell, then you increase interest rates. And then they're still worried about the environment. They're going after oil and gas companies, and they don't have an alternative. As inflation continues to stay at 6%, you can't have inflation at 6%, okay? But anyway, you have a huge problem. You have a huge problem, ladies and gentlemen. The 14th largest American bank is downgraded to junk, and Credit Suisse is failing and tanking. Okay? Credit Suisse finds material weakness in financial reporting controls. Credit Suisse finds material. All of these countries in Europe, okay, from Switzerland now to the U.S., Europe, Western countries in the world, when they shut down society, okay, question is who pushed for that? Okay, who said, hey, we can't do this? Trump. So Trump was right. Okay, you're watching it. Trump was right. And if I was one of the ladies at The View, who overwhelmingly voted against Trump? Well, you have people in a lot of people in the financial sector did, but still a lot of people didn't, and almost most of tech voted against Trump, and you see what's taking place in Silicon Valley now. So if you're on one of the ladies at The View, oh, well, they voted for this. Oh, you voted for complete financial collapse. Nobody did. Democrats didn't vote for this, but it's happening, and Trump predicted this. I predicted this. Watch my segment. Watch the stock market crash playlist. Now wait for hedge funds. What do you think? Who do you think is pulling out all the money? Retirement accounts, hedge funds, money managers. Not necessarily hedge funds, but money managers. Okay. They can manage 1, 2, 3 billion. It's not a huge sum by the standards of a hedge fund or retirement fund, but mutual funds. But you get small money managers are pulling money out of banks. This is bad. You're protected on 250, but this is going to be a tragedy for very rich people. It could be. And I say, God forbid, a tragedy for anyone. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe to this channel. I'll be back. I told you, ladies and gentlemen, did I not tell you this would take place? I'll have a live stream at 6 p.m. today. Watch the stock market crash playlist and read my segment. Read my my Federalist article, and I'll be doing segments on H.A. Goodman's other channel and the stock market crash channel today. Thank you.